AITA for being upset when finding my wife's supposedly fictional notes about infidelity that exactly matches a life. I was cleaning the hallway the other day, and among the junk was a nondescript notebook. I flipped through it quickly to see whose it was, to see what pile it should go into. Two things became evident. 1. It looked like diary notes from infidelity. 2. It was my wife's. I was so shocked that I read the whole thing, and everything in it was matching our life, right down to her interactions with our kids. I was shaking and having an immediate crisis. Chose to confront her about it. She says it's fictional, that I'm a bad person for limiting her creative writing and reading her private notes. I choose to believe her about it being fictional, and we have a stressful life, so I get fantasizing about something else. What really hurts is the active choice to write it specifically about being infidelity and in the setting of our family. One portion was about how the affair was not infidelity towards the husband, me, but kissing the husband would be infidelity towards the lover. Am I the AH here? I'm quite frankly disgusted. I've found empty rubber wrappers in her pants before, for personal use she says, and gotten home to towels in the bathroom smelling of unknown men's perfume after having been traveling with the kids when she was home alone. So I read it in that context. She swears that she wouldn't be unfaithful and that she doesn't have the time or energy. NTA. What the actual duck? Rubber wrappers, fantasies, perfumes? How can you be so oblivious? We have kids and both want to spend as much time as possible with them, and she's also very good at convincing me that I'm the AH. Sort of feel that I've been gaslighted. No disrespect, but you have to stop being so weak. She sounds incredibly manipulative and is 100% cheating. Take control of your damn life, dude. You don't wanna live like this for decades. It will sap everything out of you. The whole situation has been eating at me for years and years. I avoid conflict, like a lot, and her approach is to always take the fight on principle. She's raised with caring equaling screaming and throwing stuff. This has kept my stress levels obnoxiously high throughout the relationship. I do not want to keep living like this. I'm sorry, man, but you gotta get out of there. I think you are correct, unfortunately. NTA. And as I'm currently in the middle of being cheated on and left while pregnant, I say don't trust her and double check everything you can. I'm sorry to hear that, and I do hope life improves. Losing your significant other while pregnant sound like it hurts a lot, but also an improvement if the other person is cheating on a pregnant partner. It definitely isn't fun, but I know how painful it can be to even think that something is going on. Your heart starts racing and you feel like you're going to throw up. Just do what you need to do to get proof, because she sounds like she's lying. Very much that. I thought I had given up on the whole relationship, but reading that gave me a severe stress reaction. Thought I was going to be sick right there and then. And the fact that she thinks the whole story is fine, and that I'm being an AH for limiting her writing just makes me wonder who she is. You think you know someone, and when it turns out you don't, you lose your orientation. As for proof, I don't even want to collect it. If she would confess, that would be one thing, but I'm not going to next. The whole relationship has a lot of other issues, so I'm more focused on salvaging what I can, so we can cooperate about the kids. NTA. What the duck? That's not something a happily married person fantasizes about. I would definitely be upset if I found something like this, and I would never do this to the person that I love. We are married, but it was a long time ago. It was very happily. I was visiting my terminally ill mom, who she doesn't like, and she made it clear that I wasn't allowed to do it again since I was tired afterwards. That was the last straw for me. Or really, when she didn't want any more kids and said it's snip snip for you the next time we go to the nurses, but I wrote that of at the time to hormones. She still thinks she could make that decision for me though. What the duck? Sorry, but with all the information provided to me, with all due respect, allow me to judge her character as a real B. I've known for ages that people either love or loathe her. Being in a relationship, you make excuses for the other person. But lately I've started to question my choices. There's been signs for a long time, like how she would get so upset she would cry if I got higher grades at the university or if I got higher salary. I'm really sorry for you. She doesn't seem like a good person. I hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't count on it. NTA. There's a quote for this I've heard a few people throwing around recently. When you look at someone with rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. I'm sorry you're going through all of this. I don't have any advice, but I hope you can figure it out. All too true. Love is blind, but not in the sense people usually mean it. NTA. OP. Seriously. I've been a woman for 38 years. I've been married for 15. I have 2 children. I'm a writer. And I think she cheated on you and then wrote about it. Thanks for the input. She says you write what you know and sure. But she leaves loads and loads of written notes about daily life around the house. Almost everything she writes is processing daily life. But she also writes fictional stories which are clearly identifiable as such. So this should be one of those 2 categories. Best of luck to you. NTA. If it was a normal journal, it would be understandable for her to be upset about you reading it. I write a ton of lame poetry in my journal, so someone reading it would embarrass me, but I think you're completely justified here. Same here. I write lyrics for songs and much is crap. I don't want people to see it. Same thing with a cappella tracks from my recordings. I actually cancelled a cooperation with another musician, being too shy to send the clean vocal track, so I get it. I usually steer clear. I'm sorry OP, I've read your other replies, and you guys have had a long marriage that seems to be littered with, and this is just my opinion, manipulation. The not wanting you to see your mom, getting upset over your successes. Relationships like yours are a partnership. A successful one is a success for both. I know you didn't ask for advice, but I do feel you should tell her, when you're ready, that you believe it's real and not something you can look past like the previous incidents you were able to look past, and try to have a conversation about it. Either she'll come clean or convince you of her innocence in the matter. Regardless of what she has or hasn't done, you deserve a committed partner, even if that commitment is her being committed to being open and honest with her husband. NTA. From my perspective as a married woman, what you read was most likely not creative writing. Thanks for the input. It bothers me now thinking about it that the notes are set at her age 40, which is the same time I first found rubber wrappers in her pants. NTA. My college boyfriend wrote an salacious friend fiction, like your scenario, completely based on our real lives, where he had SEs in the back of his car with his ex-girlfriend. Then had me read it. To this day he swears it was just a story, but it opened my eyes to the fact that our relationship was broken. Good luck with whatever happens next. That's a real move. Thank you. I likely need it. Edit. Thank you for the input everybody. It warms my heart to know that my feeling and reactions are justified. We've had it rough for a long time, so I've been thinking that at least we both get to see the kids every day, but I don't think I can live like that anymore. She is prepared to, but since we make each other unhappy even as only being parents and not lovers, I'm thinking something has to change now. Edit 2. Update of sorts. I moved out of the bedroom a few weeks ago. We've found a new balance of being parents but not partners. It's given me some time of relative rest. I know it's temporary, so I'll gather up the energy for what has to come next, an actual divorce. She's been trying to be friendlier, but it's obviously a conscious effort. She even suddenly remembered that she likes me and why she married me. I'm not feeling the nostalgia, however. It feels liberating to not want to go back again. As long as she's a friend and not a partner, I feel that I can drop the resentment. Not so much if we are partners. Worldwide comments of the day. Dump her and move on. Seriously, it's clear she has no issues with backstabbing her best friend and you. If your partner or friend, whatever, will hurt others, they will hurt you. Through selfishness or cruel intentions, people can be hurt. What she did is a reflection of what kind of person she is. She did this to her best friend, not even sorry or remorseful, which makes me think that she's also capable of doing this to OP too. Right now it's clear that OP is blinded by his love, that he is thinking of giving her a second chance. I really wouldn't even bother giving her a second chance or worrying about it, as her actions should have some consequences, especially after her reaction. She gave a half-hearted apology and victimized herself. She's being good for the time being because she's afraid OP will break up with her. She'll go back to her ways after some time. It is one thing to cheat, but it is worse to do it with the partner of someone that you considered a friend or family. Not at all the and he certainly should leave his girlfriend. The fact that his girlfriend had no issues with how her friend would have been affected negatively by her actions with the friend's boyfriend shows just how little consideration she has for her friend even after all the time they spent together. Yeah, not TA, I'm very impressed that OP really seemed more concerned about Megan than himself. He was also aware enough to understand that even if she hadn't cheated on him, Sarah's actions and reactions were a major red flag, that he still couldn't trust her. She cared more about OP's feelings because it suited her, not because she cares so much for him. Personally, I don't believe it was a one-time thing or only was stopped at screwing him, which is why Sarah was so cold to Megan when it came out. The frog and scorpion was the perfect analogy for this situation, because some people will betray you, even to their own detriment, just because it is their nature to do so. OP was lucky to have found out Sarah's true nature so quickly, before he had invested too much time and emotion into the relationship. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and relatable Reddit videos.